Join me, an out-of-shape, middle-aged introvert from the Midlands, as I step out of my comfort zone and venture into the outdoors. In the last video, I rented a campervan and explored Ullswater in the Lake District. Today, I'm visiting Downs Banks in Staffordshire to reflect on my trip. I decided to go for a short walk at Downs Banks, which is halfway between Stoke-on-Trent and Staffordshire. The weather forecast, I swear to God, did not forecast rain. However, I've come out and it started raining and I've not brought anything with me. Luckily there's just enough tree cover to warrant not using my umbrella, and it's not a cold day today anyway, so I don't really need the extra layers, so I think everything kind of worked out alright. It's first week that the kids are off school, and there are kids everywhere, screaming, shouting. I'm just trying to avoid getting anyone like on camera, just being super chill about it. And now I've ended up in a really boggy bit. Yay! Oh God. I wouldn't recommend the trail that I've taken today. There's some really unclear walkways through bogs and through bits of forest and over streams where the phone struggled to work out exactly where I was. So I kind of abandoned half of the path to go for a bit more of an obvious route. Okay, so this is definitely like a dog walker's haven here. Where I was a week ago, where I would go a good hour or two without seeing a soul, I'm passing dog walkers and kids every couple of minutes. So let's address a couple of questions and some feedback that I put together from the last video. What was I most anxious about? Okay, so one thing that almost paralyzes me when it comes to leaving the home for long periods of time is my over imagination, my thoughts that someone's going to break in, or that the house is going to just catch on fire. Those kind of thoughts go through my head a lot. Many times when it's come to going on trips, I've kind of talked myself out of it. So that was a big thing for me. So why go on this trip? Don't get me wrong, I do really love the life that I've built for myself. As I alluded to in the last video, I've created like a castle, a really nice bubble to hide inside. It's come to the point of my life where I have to question whether that is the right thing to continue doing. And so the trip was kind of like an icebreaker for me in order to see whether I was up for going out and doing new things. And the answer to that question is yes. I do feel like as the days go on, I am just existing rather than living, and I wanted to try living for once. So did I learn anything about myself? Yes, I did. I learned that I was more capable of pushing myself out to do new things, to experience new sights and feelings, and to kind of push my body beyond where I genuinely thought my limits were. On paper, the hikes looked really easy. In reality, my body wasn't ready for it, but I pushed and pushed, and it was the pushing bit that is what I learned I could do, to be uncomfortable and be okay with that. and then on the other side of it feel the adrenaline and the satisfaction that I did. That was awesome. So what advice would I give to other people in my situation? As an introvert, I don't like surprises. I personally put a ton of research into the locations that I was going, the places that I was staying. I did a bunch of research on the camper van that I rented out. In fact, I probably did too much research on the camper van. I spent the last 2 months doing some research, kind of like talking to myself into buying one, which is kind of like another thing that led to this trip. But I won't be buying one anytime soon. Let's just put it that way. Also, I would advise getting rid of as many excuses as possible. As I mentioned, a couple of reasons for not leaving the house was because I was scared it was going to burn down or because it was going to get robbed. So having adequate security and measures in place and people dropping in on the house to make sure that I'm able to sleep at night and not worrying about those things, I definitely recommend trying to just put as many things to bed in your mind as possible by addressing them. There's nothing worse than being hours away from home and worrying about whether you've left the cooker on or something. Just all of those like pre-leaving checks. I'm at the top of this hill. It's now colder, it's wetter, and it's out the way, and there's nobody around. It's like wonderful up here. It's really made this little walk worth it, to be fair. Really nice. So did I leave with any real concerns? Yes, yeah, I really did. You saw how bad I was with the hay fever. That almost ruined my trip. I was seriously considering at one stage just packing it all in. However, I pushed through it and obviously got through, but it was rough at one stage. I'm going to have to try and sort something out with the GP in the future. I do take a bunch of medication for it, but sometimes it just really doesn't feel like it does anything. I'd also add that my paranoia of snoring kind of like stopped me from sleeping properly. Now, when I did get back, I did do some further tests with a snoring app, and I do snore. That might come down to my allergies really exacerbating things, and plus being overweight, that doesn't help. So I think the best thing I can do is continue to work on my health, lose weight, and maybe a few things like snoring will like reduce themselves down over time and solve themselves for the future. So would I go out and buy a camper van tomorrow? Not a chance. Maybe in the next 12 to 18 months, depending on how my future rentals go. I really struggled with keeping everything tidy and not feeling like I was in a giant mess all the time and cramped and hitting my head on things. I definitely need more exposure. I need to become more comfortable with that kind of thing before I go out and do that. But it does sound like a cool idea, just in practice it didn't really work out that well. I don't know if you can tell or not now, but I'm kind of like really wet now. I couldn't be bothered with the umbrella, putting it up and taking it down again. I got my hat, that'll do I guess. It's not that cold, it's not really cold at all, to be fair. So when's my next big trip? Great question, I'm not entirely sure. What I can tell you though is that there are 3 major locations that I want to go and visit. That is the Brecon Beacons, that is the Peak Districts, and I want to go to like the Yorkshire Dales, I think it is, and Shropshire Hills. Those are like the bigger trips that I want to take, but for the time being I'm probably going to go on a lot of like little walks like this one, just to kind of like reflect on a few things really. I was hoping to catch the sunset tonight, but I think I'm 10 minutes too late, and B, the wrong side of this hill where this woodlandy bit is. But oh well, it's still a nice night. In fact, this is just super nice, to be fair. I don't think the cameras really do it justice in terms of the lighting. I don't think it's as bright in real life as the camera kind of makes it out to be, but it's just nice to come here and kind of like wind down a little bit. Plus it's kind of like the hill, a bit hilly like that, going around like a big lake in the middle. There's 3 rings that go around the lake, each one with more of an incline. I went straight for the highest incline. I practically just ran here to try and make it for the sunset so I could record it. Normally that would have like finished me, but I think with my recent activity it's helped me to break that ice a little bit, and I didn't find it as difficult as what I would normally find it, so that was a bonus. I feel so inspired right now to getting out. I know I said earlier about not wanting to jump on a campervan just yet, but man, the idea of just jumping in one and rocking up at a campsite and having everything that I need just to comfortably spend the night and then go on a walk that night or that morning or whenever. The idea, I love it, but it is a commitment, so we'll see how it goes. One of my favourite things to do when I get here, I'd just like to stand here and look at this like man-made lake that was left over, that occurred a long time ago. Just really nice to look at it and chill for a minute, you know? I'm at Keele University. I know I'm new to all of this like hiking and walking stuff, but I'm so excited, like finding these new things that look awesome, like the walk that I'm doing now down this little like lane. Just, it makes me feel actually alive. I know I'm not on top of a bloody mountain looking over in the distance. I'm just walking down a green path. So cool. This place is eerily quiet. Like, I've probably gone past like 10 people so far, and I've been here about 15 or so minutes. I can only imagine how busy it is during like school season. It's crazy. It's just like, I can't get over how eerie it is considering the size of this place. I guess this is the teaching area. Oh no, it says the door over there says main reception and ballroom entrance. That was a huge no from me. That was a little bit scary, peering into there and hearing that water. I was kind of expecting a claw to come like out and reach and grab me. It didn't happen, but it could have. This is so peaceful. This is great. It's Saturday night. It's about 8 p.m. Oh, look at that. I originally went to Wolverhampton University back in, oh God, 2020-ish sometime, I don't remember. I dropped out in the first year. I went straight from high school to sixth form to uni, and at that point I was just done with the education and I just wanted to earn some money, you know. So yeah, after that first year I dropped out, and then I attempted uni 2 or 3 times after that through Open University, of which I'm back at Open University, and I'm finally halfway through my degree now. I just thought I saw a giant rat. It was a squirrel. This kind of reminds me of the days I used to go airsofting in Cannock. Those were the days where I was fit enough to run around a forest for half of an afternoon on a Sunday. Not anymore. Maybe one day, but not right now. This little bit through the woodland area is really dense and muddy. I have a feeling I'm not going to enjoy woodland walks out of all the walks that I do. It wasn't till after I got back from my Lake District trip that I realised that I should have been on the lookout for ticks. I didn't realise it was such a big deal with the whole Lyme disease thing, and luckily after I learned that, I checked my body and I didn't see anything that I shouldn't have seen. But it's kind of got me a little bit paranoid, if I'm honest with you, like going out in the wild and doing things and just keeping an eye on like bugs sucking blood out of me. But now I know to look, and I've ordered like a tick removal tool. I've ordered some insect repellents. I've also made sure to wear lights coloured clothing, just so that I can see any creepy crawlies on me, rather than like going with something black. Speaking of gear and clothes, I put in an order the other day for some new trousers and some more base layer tops. I also ordered a 20 litre, I think, backpack, like a hiking backpack to complement the big one that I've got, which should be good for going out on day walks. The one that I'm wearing now barely holds like a water bottle and this GoPro, but it does for like being out for a couple of hours. I also got some hiking walking sticks. Apparently I'll find those quite beneficial, especially when I'm like scrambling over things. So I'm quite looking forward to taking those out for a spin as well. I'm on about the 5 kilometre mark now, I think, and I'm feeling pretty good about it actually. Like, my legs are holding up, my breathing seems okay, but then again I've not been going at a great pace, as I have been like scrambling over things and like trudging through mud. But I'd like to think that I'm feeling the benefits, which is nice. I feel all itchy now because I've been talking about bugs. Ooh. What gets me about this place is how, I know I've said it before, but just how peaceful it is. I do love the feeling of like tranquility. It just puts my mind at ease. It just slows everything down. I'm not much of a reader of books, but this feels like a really nice place to sit down and read a chapter of something if I was into that. Thank you, Keele University, for giving me this unexpected experience. It was very pleasurable, and I would visit again for sure. I might bypass that overgrown bit, but given like with uni and people being, you know, on holidays right now, it is a really nice place to come and hang out in the evening.